So grateful. Hi Justine. It's Justine. Hi Justine. I'm so grateful that I have a tech team where that I can immediately call and say, hey, something ain't right. Yes, we had to do some coding, some rebuilding, Lady Drea. Some coding, some rebuilding today, but I think I'm live on all platforms. If I'm not live on all of them, it's because everything isn't fixed yet. And I do apologize for that if I'm not currently showing up on all platforms. Good morning, you. Good afternoon, user 857. Good morning, Mickey Smith. So I do apologize deeply if, in fact, you are getting the brunt and stick of the fact that you kind of can't hear or see me. Um, and it is because of the glitch in the system that we had. We are in the process of getting that together. We got half of it fixed. We do not have the other half fixed because it will take a little bit longer than expected. We are kind of going to go ahead and do we were doing a major transition actually for our platforms. And so because this incident happened, guess what, guys? We ain't gonna wait any longer. We are going to go ahead and go forth and actually go ahead and launch and switch over. So I do apologize for the technical difficulties. If you tried to log into your portal yesterday and couldn't get in, we were aware of the glitch. We apologize. If you came today and had issues logging into anything, again, our deepest apologies. Hoping to have it all fixed. Most of it, 90% of it, should be fixed and corrected by Friday. If we're not able to correct a particular glitch that he's looking at this evening, then what will happen is we will not have class tomorrow so that we can use that time to mess in the portal, and then we will have class on Friday. I apologize. The glitch is out of my control. I did not do it. I didn't have nothing to do with it, but it did happen, and it does happen, and that's part of having online stuff. So I thank God that I do pay for my member CRM system, and so because I do, I have the support necessary. So they're doing what they do, and I'm here today doing what I do, and what I do is, my name is Coach Kenya Lachelle Elliott, and I am your area weight loss guru and coach, doing this thing natural like a chicken wing, baby. We've been losing weight and keeping it off for about 10 years. I didn't just wake up and poke myself and drop weight, baby. I've been doing this. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I didn't just learn it. I burned it, baby. Okay. So yeah, that's me. Yeah, I did that. No, I did have surgery. No, I didn't take no injections. No, no, and no. No, I didn't get the skin removed. Yes, this is my body. Yes, I did it natural. No, I didn't diet. No, I don't starve because I'm a food addict and I can't. That's it. Intermittent fasting, nutritional supplements, and mindset. That's what I did. That's what I teach. I teach a therapeutic healing process through weight loss so that you lose the weight for good. So you quit yo-yoing back and forth every 5 years. You find something that works, and the minute you stop using it, you bigger than a house and bouncing around her again. I want to teach you how to deal with your mindset so you don't have to keep going backwards. You're not going backwards because what you used didn't work. You're going backwards because your mindset, you keep leaving that out. That's why you keep yo-yoing. You're not yo-yoing because your body, because your PCOS, because you're in it. That's not why you're yo-yoing. You're going because of this. And a lot of people don't want to accept this. They want to do everything but deal with this, but you got to deal with this. Because at no date or no time did Picos ever pick up a piece of pizza and eat it. Never, ever. That was you. Picos ain't never made you eat a bag of chips. You ate it. Them candy bars, them Snickers, them cupcakes, candies, and all that. That's you eating them. That is not your endometriosis. That's not your Picos. That's not your fibromyalgia. That's not your diabetes. Your blood pressure didn't jump out of your heart and go do it. No, that was you picking up the food. That was you buying it. That was you eating it. That was you stuffing it down your throat. It was none of your diseases. And you have to sit with that first. You got to come that close to it first. That's the only reason why I was able to do that naturally, because I had to come to the conclusion that it's no one's fault but my own that I was in my situation that I was in. Yes, other things contributed to my outcome, but me got me there. Because no one ever tied my arms up, locked me down, and shoved a burger, a hamburger, a french fry, a cake, a cookie, a piece of candy, or nothing in my mouth. No one ever forced me to eat anything. No one never ever did. So yes, I might have had this diagnosis, that diagnosis, this diagnosis, that diagnosis, this diagnosis, that diagnosis, this diagnosis, that diagnosis, this diagnosis, that diagnosis. I might have had them all. Okay, to the excess of 45 diagnoses to be exact with you. But what I can tell you is none of them diagnoses jumped out of my body, went into the kitchen or into a grocery store or through a drive-through, purchased the food, ate it on its own, and then came back and jumped in my body. Never did it happen. That therefore endometriosis ain't at fault, my blood condition ain't at fault, factor 5 ain't at fault, factor 7 ain't at fault, the clots ain't at fault, the tumors are not at fault, the endometriosis ain't at fault, the hysterectomy ain't at fault, the hemorrhaging ain't at fault, the bleeding to death ain't fault, the clotting to death ain't fault, the paralysis ain't at fault, the hypertension, kidney failure, diabetes, it ain't their fault. It's not the cholesterol's fault. It's not my heart attack's fault since I had 3 of them. It's not their fault. It's not my 3 strokes fault. All of it comes down to the fact that I could not stop putting stuff in my mouth. That's what I had to accept. See, when I come live on Wednesdays and we talk about responsibility, because every Wednesday I have the same topic, which is, do you realize you're responsible for your current circumstances, no matter what they are? You played a role in them. And the problem with a lot of people is they want it to be everything but them. But the biggest issue in weight loss is wellness is self-acceptance and responsibility and accountability. We lack it. We lack it so much. That's why we yo-yoing around here, ripping and running, shooting up stuff in our body, because we lack self-discipline and self-accountability. Why can I say that loudly? Because I did it. I was you. I did it. I did it. And if I'm allowed the opportunity, I'll go back and do it again, because I'm a food addict. Understand what I'm coming to you with. What I'm trying to give you is reality. No, I'm not on here going to tell you all the little, oh, girl, just get your money, get you an injection. No, go get you an injection, but get you some mindset, because without that, all you're doing is shooting yourself up with poison. Because if you don't do the things you need to do to make that effective, then it's not going to be effective. Yes, sir. Everything requires your work. Nothing is easy. So everything requires your work. But if you do not engage your mind, it doesn't matter what method you choose. If you do not deal with your mindset, it is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on this app that have lost weight from the surgery. I know about 14 big creators that have lost a mass amount of weight from surgery and injection. And all of them in their lives are telling y'all to deal with y'all mindset. But nobody in the live is asking them women about mindset. All y'all care about is how much weight they lost, how fast they lost it, and what they did. Y'all don't care about that part. Y'all act like it's not included. You act like you can cut off your head and then move around in your body. Where? Because if you cut off your head, that's called dead. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is you got to include your mindset. You have to. No matter what you put in your body, nothing sacrifices for mental health, work, and healing but the person doing the work. But the person doing the work, babies. But the person doing the work. Yes. As our string. Am I saying it right, baby? Our string says so true. Because what happens is a method is just that, is just a method. I'll give you an example. Doctors are practicing medicine. The problem is we look at one doctor and consider them the expert in the field and refuse to seek second opinions, research it ourselves, look up other stuff for ourselves, and then we're disappointed when the doctor fails us. You set yourself up for the failure because you made it as if that person was the expert in everything. You refuse to do your own research, you look at your own health, to pursue your own wellness. Instead of well care, you got sick care, and now you're mad that you're still in the same situation you was 15 years ago with the same doctor that you in love with, but ain't shit changing your situation. Excuse my language. I'm going to tell, like I told my client last night, if you're doing all of that stuff and you still feel crappy, the stuff you're doing isn't working. I understand you don't want to use my tactics, but the tactics you're standing on could not be working. Because if they were working, then you wouldn't have the complaints you have. Right. Listen to what I'm just saying. If you're doing a whole bunch of stuff for weight loss, but you're extremely exhausted, you can't sleep at night, your body hurts, you're not working out, you can't think straight, you're falling into depression and anxiety, you're not eating at all, that's not a good system. How is that better than what you were doing before? It's not. That means what you're currently doing isn't working. So you have to be willing to shift. Shift. I'm like, are you taking vitamins? Yeah, I'm taking like 12 vitamins a day. They're not working. I don't care if you're taking 100. then you have 100 vitamins that are not working. I don't care if you're taking vitamins from Methuselah. I don't care if your celebrity is taking them. They're not working for you. Because if they were, you wouldn't have extreme exhaustion. You wouldn't be sleeping 18 hours a day if the system you had worked. Because if you're eating and it's not fueling your body, then what you're eating is no good. Okay, you know what? Let me just do the reading. I ain't gonna even do it today. Wellness Wednesday, we're gonna go on and just switch it up. Normally I talk for 25 minutes and I drop nuggets and I give you some tips and things that I want you to go do to educate yourself, to empower yourself, to acknowledge yourself. I ain't gonna even do all that today. I'm not gonna even stress you. You know what? I'm gonna go on off here. I'm gonna get on off here and take my time to my clients who want to hear what I got. You understand what I'm saying? Now people pay a lot of money to work with me. I've been doing this for 10 years in 14 countries, with over 14,000 people. So I'm gonna go where they want it. Because I don't, what I believe in is when people don't want to hear what you gotta say, then you stop talking. That's what I believe. And I stick to that. As a matter of fact, I stick to it so cold that we can be doing something and I could literally watch something that you're doing about to fall apart, but because you told me not to say nothing, guess what I'm not gonna do? It's gonna fall, and I'm not even gonna flinch when it fall and break. I'm gonna sit there because you told me not to say nothing. That's how I work. See, one thing I won't do is force me and my experiences on nobody. So let me get our reading done so I can get off of here. Because baby, I got plenty of work to do. Yeah, in real life. That's how I move, y'all. That's how you gotta move too. One thing I learned in my recovery is I no longer force myself into places that I'm not wanted, including on social media, including going live. If the experience, I was on my deathbed. You understand? Paralyzed, 592 pounds. That alone is a miracle. If you can't see the miracle and be moved in that to do something more for yourself, then there's nothing else I need to say to you. I'm Googleable. Fact check it. People Magazine, ABC, NBC, Fox News, baby. I'm not new. I'm true. Just because you ain't heard about me don't make me unknown. It makes you lack the knowledge and access that I have. I'm not losing, okay? What I'm telling you is that the way I function is based on my sobriety and recovery in life. I don't play around with it because no person, place, or thing is ever going to make me eat the way I'm not supposed to again, or drink the way I'm not supposed to again, or think the way I'm not supposed to. I'm not willing to sacrifice my life. Not going to do it. See, and if anybody in here has ever been in any type of recovery or 12-step programs, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm speaking on. You know what topic I'm speaking on, to be particular, right? I don't read a Codependency Anonymous, a book for nothing. We read it because it's part of the issue that lies in this particular subject. See, I'm about looking at all the sides of it. Many of y'all just want to look at the scale in your waistline, but you're skipping all the other aspects of this thing, right? This is a disease. Yeah, it's a disease. It is a mental and medical disease. I'm going to tell you why. Hi, babies. Come on in. It's a mental and medical disease because you can alter somebody's body and their mind will still overeat. Why do you think there's dumping in surgeries? Because people would rather dump and eat what they want to eat than follow the guidelines of the surgery. Because it doesn't take away that desire. It don't take away that craving, that urge when you get sad enough or depressed enough or bored enough or lonely enough. It doesn't take that away, baby. The surgery alters your stomach. It doesn't take that away. It doesn't take that away. Yeah, there's things that can slow it down, but it does not make it go away forever. It doesn't. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I literally just had to use my coping skills 3 days ago. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't go away. I'm very self-disciplined. If you ever around me, I have super self-discipline with food and working out. I'm talking about, I have discipline of athletes when it comes to this thing. Discipline. I never had before, but I got it from doing my journey naturally. Looking at the way I think and how I think about things. I had to change the way I thought about things in order for things to change. I had to stop saying I don't like to work out, I don't like to walk, I don't like to move, so that my mind could hear something different. I had to stop saying things like I don't like to cook and I don't want to do that and I'm not going there because that's not me. That's not who I am. I had to stop making comments like that because it was blocking my blessings from having the best health, the best version of myself. I had to stop speaking like I knew what I was doing. And I had to pursue the information for myself. I had to stop trying to find a quick fix and deal with the real issue. And the real issue was not my weight. The real issue was all the things that had happened to me for over 20, 30 some odd years that had never been fully addressed. That was what was burning a hole in my soul. And along the way, babies, I learned to eat to feel better. And when the pain got too much to bear, I just ate more. Are you following me? It was only when they put the shakes in my feeding tube that I realized the food wasn't going in my mouth, but I still had cravings in my brain. You understand what I'm saying? I discovered this mind thing because I had no avenue to chew, but I still wanted it and needed it per se. And that's when I discovered, you know what? We suffer from a real mental health disorder and we need to make enough awareness. That's why I come live. Somebody is going to hear this live the right way. And they're going to go to a panel somewhere and they're going to say, I saw this lady talking about mental health and weight loss and how we need to have insurance companies offer long-term therapy for women and men who struggle with eating issues, how we need to have jobs offer EPA services for people who do jobs that are physically challenging but they may struggle with their weight so they can teach them a good routine and system, how we need real nutritional coaches, not somebody to tell you to go eat better, but somebody that's going to give you enough insurance coverage to go back to the person multiple times so they can teach you. They need to pay for cooking classes for families so that women that don't know how to eat healthy, instead of them going to get an injection and losing the weight, they can teach their babies that are obese how to eat better. See, we need awareness. You think I'm worried about you joining me, and I need you to be worried about somebody being aware of your situation so you can get real help. Because see, the rate we're going right now, based on the scientific report I got this morning, the rate we going right now, babies, the rate we going right now is we're going to have a lot of African American women and men, and I'm going to say, because the studies are saying we're the predominantly users right now, blind. Because long-term and chronic use is starting to show people with diminished vision. How do I know it's factual? Because I have a client that has contacted me, and she has limited vision. Hey, I.R.I.S. Smiles. Hi, baby. She's been on her stuff for 1.5 years. She started seeing spots 3 months in, and she didn't know what it was. She thought it was her blood pressure, so she ignored it. They continued to increase the dose, and now she has full spots and blurry vision, is no longer able to drive. When she went to renew her license, she could not pass the test. But she has lost 100 pounds. This breaks my heart because the medicine did its job, but the side effects has took something from her she can't get back. So she's at her ideal weight. That was the goal. She met her goal, guys. She met her goal. She did everything right. I'm her coach. I know she did everything right. I watched her do everything right. How did we get here? How did we get here when you did everything right? When you did everything right. You understand? This is what I'm saying. We never know. We never know. You can do everything right. I did everything right to lose weight. I still have a port in my chest. I'm still dying of a terminal blood condition. I'm still having to manage my 12 spinal fractures in my back. I'm still managing neuropathy, necrosis of the hip, severe migraine headaches, and clots all over my body. I'm still managing symptoms of my stroke and my heart attack. But I did everything right to get the weight off. But I still got this. So what do we do in these situations? We still rise up. We rise up and we share the information to help the next person make good decisions so that they can say something sooner. You understand? This is not to discourage you, but to encourage you to ask questions. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Don't shut it down. Don't think you're complaining. Say something. It's like being in the airport. This is what I told her. Treat your body like being in the airport. If you feel something, see something, say something. You understand? Treat your body like the airport. If you feel something off, see something off, say something. Say something. Say, hey, everything is going good. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. I got my energy up. I'm doing my protein. I'm on it, doc. But I noticed A, B, Q, and G. What you got back there for that? I know you got something now. You already got me on this. You might as well give me whatever symptom, whatever medicine you got for side effects back there. Go on and bring your cousin out, please. You see, Sandra. Amen, Sandra. Thank you so much, Sandy. Congratulations on your sobriety. I'm very familiar with the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction. Woo! Yes. Sandra, that's what I was explaining to him. Like, there's certain things I can't do because listen, y'all gotta know this mind. This, you know what I learned in recovery, y'all. One thing I stick by is my thinking is my problem. Listen to this, and I'm gonna get to our reading and get off here and get to my next client. My thinking is my problem. And my clients that work with me, within the first 30 days, they tell you it was never about weight loss for them either. Because see, when you make it over here on this side of TikTok with me, if you done made it over here, then you got something going on upstairs. I'm telling you. Because all I talk about is behavioral health, mental health, and mindset. That's all my videos talk about. Push through, keep going, don't stop. 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 Push through, keep, switch, rotate, find another way. Switch, rotate, find another way. Don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. Why? Because they gave me 30 days to live. Y'all do understand I was... Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Y'all realize I was like, amazing grace. I'll see. Y'all know that, right? I mean, funeral songs. Yep. 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 Oh, y'all must not know. So y'all must not know that I actually was eating myself to death intentionally. That's how I got 592. Y'all know I gained 389 pounds in 10 months. When I tell you I know the beast of obesity and the beast of food addiction, I listen. I ain't gonna even, I told you I wasn't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Let's go. Get into the readings. Okay, first book. Every day I come live, I do the same little thing. I switch and rotate the times because of the time zones, and I'm servicing my clients. So remember, I have clients in 14 countries. In order to service them, we rotate the days and the times that we go live. I had a client today just ask me, Coach, you stop going live in the morning? I said, yeah, baby, due to the time zone, it switches me over. So because of the time zone, now I'm on East Coast time zone, but I'm also on Arizona time zone, so it's all weird. But sticking to this thing with me, don't go nowhere, y'all. We still outside these streets, okay? Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. We almost there. I'm going to give you this reading. I'm going to tell you the 2 books because every time I start reading, you guys ask me what these books are. And I've had over 150 people go out and buy these 2 books. Now, you going to say to me, she must get some type of commission. I do not. Give it to God. Give it to God. It's not me. It's not my doing. It's his doing. It wasn't his. It wasn't my idea. It was his idea. My team and I got together and I said, you guys, would you guys be interested in knowing what I do on a daily basis? And if I came live and did it, would you join me too? They said, yep, Coach, we'll do it with you. I said, I want to show people how simple I have kept my weight loss situation, how I'm not ripping and running these streets like a crackhead trying to keep this weight off. I want to show people how basic this thing is. When I said crackhead, but I didn't mean it. I guess when you are out there on the drugs, you do be out in these streets like crazy. Because when I was out there, I was out there trying to get that food. I was going through drive-thrus and gas stations. I guess, you know what? You do be out there trying to get your brain high for that food. Yep. Okay, wait a minute. That was a good paradigm. I'm sorry. I had to come back. Circling back around. You know what? I was right. That was how I was out in these streets. I'm not mislabeling it. That was my behavior because I'm going to tell you what I was doing. I would have 4 people visit. I'm gonna tell y'all this thing about this food addiction because you can't, if you don't see it, if you don't know it, and I don't hear you don't know it, you might qualify. Look, check this out. Me too, Sandra, me too. Sandra, you said you're definitely helping me. I done went from drug and alcohol to food. Sandra, that's what got me. When I couldn't listen, what I figured out is when I was in hospice, I couldn't drink. Y'all see it? Did y'all get it? I called it, y'all. I didn't at first. Prior to hospice, I was very successful, very professional. I was plus size. I was big, yes, but I was not 600-pound big. Okay. I've been fat twice. Let me tell you how sick I am. I had the gastric bypass in 2007. In 2009, it had to be reversed because I was suffering from malnourishment. I have a rare condition, which I'll tell you about in a story time. Y'all heard all about it. But the bottom line is, if you have any type of blood clotting disorders, you're not supposed to get procedures like that because it will kill you, because your body needs the acid in your stomach to break down blood thinners, because blood thinners have to be synthesized a certain way in order for them to be effective if you have a real life death, life-threatening blood condition like coach. This port has been in my chest for 10 years. That's how serious my condition is. I have bled to death and clotted to death, that big in the picture you see. Let me keep going. Let me tell you what happened to me. So remember I told you I'm an alcoholic, right? Well, I've known, I kind of knew in the back end of my life that I drink to feel better because of the reasons and how I drink. I never drink for fun. I didn't have time I don't want to sip. I want to be drunk fast, and I want to over fast, right? And then I want to go to bed. So already right there, I'm not drinking for the right reasons, but I didn't know that. Let me help you on game real quick what happened with me. So mind you, I'm very successful. I got 2 or 3 jobs. I work a business. I'm buying houses and popping. I'm popping. I'm buying coaches and Mercedes, and I'm doing this thing, right? I'm out in these streets. But I come from a lot of trauma, pain, disappointment, and neglect. And I'm one of those women that instead of me letting my circumstances suck me in, I succeeded through it. Are you following me? Tap the like button if this is your story. So far, just tap the like button. Just let me know you're here, y'all. Just let me know y'all in here. Let me just see y'all, okay? Let me just know y'all here. Yep, feeding addiction. Array of smiles, feeding addiction. So look, pick this out. So I'm running these streets, we traveling, I'm married, we partying up. And I mean, we partied a lot. As a matter of fact, we used to go out to bars and we would get Top Chef. Now, I'm not talking about regular Top Chef. I'm talking about the Top Chef where the shots are $500 a shot for scotch. So what happened, Yvonne, this is what happened. Yvonne peeped me. So I stopped being able to do all that. Couldn't drink, couldn't go out to fancy restaurants no more. I slowed down. And when I slowed down, guess what picked up? Can anybody in the chat tell me what happened when I wasn't able to run from the pain no more? It caught up with me. The disappointment, the sadness, the neglect, the loneliness, the hurt, the child abuse, the rape, the molestation. It all caught up with me at one time when I was stuck in that hospital bed and I started to eat. That is a card note. Yep. And I started to eat. I was eating so much that in 1 month I would eat and purchase approximately $3,500 worth of food for just me. When you came to my hospital room or my mom's living room, if you looked under my bed, it looked like somebody had moved the snack out from 7 grocery stores under my bed because I needed the food close. I had stashes. And when I ran out of one place, I could simply pull out another box and I'd have it in another place. I would send multiple people to the store to get different things just in case the first person got mad with my list. I would give the next person the other part of my list, manipulation. And then if Sandra, if you was coming to see me, and then let's say Araya Smiles, you coming to see me, and Allison, you coming to see me, and Yvonne, you coming to see me. So all of y'all gonna come to see me right in one day. Feeding those emotions. I was eating them down, eating them down. I was determined to eat the feeling of being raped, molested at 13, and burying my child at 13 out of me. I wanted to eat it away. The fact that I never got to have another child of my own again. I wanted to eat it away. So I was doing it. I was doing it all right until I gained 389 pounds in 10 months. Hence, teeth decay. Because you know, when you eat late at night and go to sleep with food in your mouth, it weakens your enamel. Well, what happened was I was paralyzed, remember? They stood me up and dropped me, hit my face, cracked the teeth up into my face, cracked them. They were so brittle, they literally shattered out of my mouth. And I had to have inpatient surgery to have them surgically removed. The vomiting, purging, binging, and eating like that had wore the enamel down on all my teeth. The side of my teeth you see are repaired bridges. You understand me? This thing, this obesity thing, it's not just your waistline, honey. Everything is being affected by our eating habits and our attempts to get it off. We're losing our hair. We're losing our teeth. Yes, we're losing functionality in parts of our body limbs and everything. Why would my live be blocked? I haven't even, I'm not speaking any regulated goods content. What? I'm not talking about no goods. What are you talking about? I totally just got a thing to say that I'm talking about regulated goods. We're literally talking about overeating and obesity. They don't even go together. I'm not even talking about selling anything. What the bologna and cheese is happening? Demonic. I rebuke it in the mighty name of Jesus, and whoever this live is for, I'm not let that move me and stop talking about what I was talking about, because clearly I'm probably blessing by somebody and helping somebody get free. So I've noticed that every time I'm helping somebody get free, somebody in my live complains and tells TikTok that my live is uncomfortable, but I haven't said anything uncomfortable. If you're here and you're uncomfortable, you can just leave, because there's somebody in here that needs to hear the information that I'm sharing so that their life is saved. And if you don't want your life saved today, then get out. But what I'm trying to tell you is I was on my deathbed and this stuff saved my life. There's someone in here that is dying right now, dying from food addiction, dying from the cravings, and they can't figure out a solution. And y'all want to block this life. Go somewhere else. Because if you're uncomfortable, then don't stay here, baby. But I'm talking to the people that need this. I'm not asking you to buy nothing. I'm not charging you nothing. You don't got to do nothing. Have you heard me say hit the like button one time? No. Did you say drop a gift? Hear me say drop a gift one time? No, because that's not why we're here. That's not the purpose of what we're doing right here. You understand? So that's not, so whoever feels that way, okay, go somewhere else. Okay, but we're not selling anything. It's not a GLP-1 live. I'm sure that's why you did it. That's not what this is. It's none of those. Okay, so thank you for the restriction you just gave me. That's going to make it harder for me to reach the women that need me. So thank you for trying to block those women. But in the mighty name of Jesus, any arrow and demonic spirit that tries to rise up against this life or anyone in this life, I rebuke you and everything about you, and I send you back to the sender to be destroyed in the mighty name of Jesus. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, they got a little thing on my screen, but I'm going to keep going. Normally I get off and I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep rolling because this is for somebody, so I'm not going nowhere. So today we're going to fight. Yeah, normally I ain't got the energy. Today we're going to fight. Clock says I got 30 minutes for my next client, so I'm here for it. I got time for you today, baby. Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying was, so here's what happened. So say, remember, Sandra's coming to see me. Yvonne, you coming to see me. Allison's coming to see me. And I.R.I.S.E Smiles, y'all all coming to see. Remember, I got 5 business coming. We talk about my 5 business and tell you what happened. So because I would know, it's time I knew I had a food addiction. Check this out. Sandra's gonna come before she goes to work in the morning, right? Because she might work by the hospice facility I'm in. So I'm gonna have Sandra bring me breakfast, but I'm also gonna get 2 trays from the kitchen. Peep it, clock this. When Sandra leaves, I done already talked to I.R.I.S.E Smile. She's on her way because she done dropped off the kids at school, and before she works from home, so she ain't got to be back at her desk till 10. So Sandra came around 7 or 8. Now I got I.R.I.S.E Smiles coming at 10, and she's also going to bring me. Oh, it's worse. I'm telling you, I'm the worst of its kind. But I'm in recovery now. My sponsor allows me to be able to share freely like this, because this is how you can tell I got a sponsor. You see me over here. If you know anything about the steps, some of the stuff I'm telling you are actually steps. I'm just not calling them steps, but never I digress. Okay. Now, remember, I still got Yvonne coming, and I still got Allison coming. Remember, I named 5 names, so I still got 3 more visits, right? So Yvonne gets a lunch break, and she might work down the street from the hospital, and she ain't came to see me for a while. So I'm going to play on her sympathy that she ain't seen me for a while, and I'm going to have her try to bring me food from not one restaurant, but 2. Okay? Remember, I've had my 2 breakfast trays. I've had the food Sandra bought me, and I've had the food I.R.I.S.E Smiles bought me, and now Allison's on her way, and Yvonne is on her way. I'm having the food Yvonne brought me, and I'm having my 2 lunch trays, right? It's always hoarding food. It's like keeping the food around me and as close to me as possible. Why? Because I felt loved. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I felt love. When you brought me house shoes and a nightgown, that didn't excite me. But when you brought me hot food, that excited me. When you stood up and cooked me a meal and brought it to me, I was even more happier. You see what I'm saying? So it was all about getting the food. It wasn't about really seeing you. It was about, was you bringing me something to eat if you were. I'm literally in your pocket because I'm not offering up no money. I'm in your pocket because you were doing me a good deed. But remember, I've got a switch going on in my head. So I'm not eating because I'm hungry. I'm eating because I'm lonely. I'm abandoned. I'm sickly. I'm broken. I'm hurting. I'm replaying all the abuse and trauma from my childhood. So if I don't keep eating, I can't breathe. You understand? You see how deep this is? Like when grief hits me, if I'm not careful, I will purchase a lot of things and just sit and eat until they're gone, until I throw up, and then I will throw up that all up and then go back at it. Okay. So what I'm explaining is I had set a tone to my behavior to allow myself to get there. Yes, I have all those medical conditions, but it was actually the behavior and the diabolical connection with the food and eating and how I was getting it that was the sick part. That was the mind part. Yes, the body was sick, but the mind was sicker. You understand? Because they could put me on NPO and bring no trays, but I still found a way to get food. The mind was sicker. Example, they tell me, oh, we want you to try to fast to help with weight loss. And I'll say, I can't go without eating. I'll get really sick. Right? But when I was starving myself to lose weight, I didn't get sick. When I was starving myself because I was mad, hurt, abandoned, neglected, upset, or sad, or anxious about something, I didn't get sick and pass out. But it was interesting how I could create these stories in my head about things that I could do that could actually fortify my health. But I would be ready with an excuse for you about why I couldn't do it. Oh, I can't do that. My doctor's not going to let me do that because of my medication. My doctor ain't never told me that. Because if you know anything about real fasting, you actually take your medicine anyway. With a cracker or something, and you just don't eat anything heavy. So that's how I know I had an issue, because I could find a reason, and I would know when I would say it that it was. I would know when I said it was. Like I used to say that I couldn't work out, but do you guys know still to this day I can do the splits and put my legs behind my head? But if my doctor asked me, did I ever make it to do the workouts they gave me, that my back was in so much pain. However, I still made it to the club to turn up. But I can't work out, my knees hurt. But I can make it on and off planes and walk miles and miles to rental cars and go on trips and vacations to 3 and 4 states in 2 and 3 weeks and sit in cars for 14 and 15 hours on road trips. But I could go to the club and turn up and for 8, 9 hours. I could go to a birthday party, a pool party, jump in and out of the pool, twerk, get on my knees, throw it back, slap it back, put my boots on the ground. But I can't work out. I'm going to leave it at that. It was funny how my knees hurt and my back hurt and my head hurt, and I had disease when it was convenient to not do what didn't want to do. Those issues never came up or arise when it was something I wanted to do. Like my mom used to do this thing. She'd take her cane to all of her doctor's appointments, but when it was time for her to go out, her cane didn't go out with her. I know people that ride around in wheelchairs, but when they go on events and go on road trips, there's no wheelchair. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. All I'm saying is our thinking is the problem. 90% of the time, our thinking is cutting us out of winning before we even try. One of the biggest things I've learned from working with over 14,000 people is the number one issue in wellness, not weight loss, in pursuing ultimate health, is the fact that a lot of people don't believe they can do it. They don't believe that they can live the lifestyle of what they think healthy is. Because what people have been shown healthy looks like and what healthy really is are not the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? For some reason, people think healthy is boiled chicken and broccoli. I don't know where y'all get that from. That's because boiled chicken and broccoli has minimal nutrition in it. Because if you boil all the nutrition out of the chicken or cook all the nutrition out of the broccoli and you don't supplement because food from a grocery store doesn't sustain all the nutrition you need in the first place. So right there, you already start down in the negative. Already, everything we're overeating has nothing in it. Has nothing in it. 90% of us eat, just eat to eat. We're not eating with intentions to fuel our body at all. Oh, what you getting? I think I'm gonna stop and get me some hamburger and french fries and give me something to eat real quick and go home. What about that is going to give you enough fortified nutrition that's going to equal mental clarity, energy, burn visceral fat, and give you. Oh, I had me a McDonald's Happy Meal. Well, you probably ate bird dog, bird poop, a baby toenail, a baby eyeball, a baby back, a spinal column, and everything from there. So you should be well in no time if you're eating body parts. They said it's good for you. So I know y'all know I be turned up on people. All right, day 110. It is written, have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Principle 1 for today says, never permit fear to discourage you from progressing in your goals. Principle 1. I eat and stack when I'm bored. Me too, Sandra. That's my biggest problem. It's only been, so I haven't binged in 8 years. I haven't got compulsive like years in about 9 years. And I think it's been 5 years since I did the boredom snacking. Been about 5 years. Because the way I check if I'm bored or not, you don't gotta do this. I'm just gonna tell you what I do. So the way I check if I'm bored, first of all, use HALT. HALT. You know HALT, Sandra, from recovery. HALT says, are you hangry, angry? Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? So first you want to ask yourself, are you those things, okay? Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Those things first, right? And then the second thing you want to check is fear. And you guys remember this whole series is on fear. The hitting microaggressions or micro offenses that fear leaves in your life. That's the whole. If you look back over my social media, you'll see that this is a theory. This is a theory that I launched last year about obesity and weight loss and wellness. That many of us have some form of fear about actually becoming successful at our journey. Okay, we have some form of fear. Fear what we think, for what they think, for what might not happen, for what might not stay. But we have something. And what happens is it prevents us from being able to open our mind to broader, wider concepts and newer things. Because if fear is prevailing, then how can you move into a new thing? Because doing anything new requires what? Faith. Faith. So if I'm walking around fearful all the time, and I'm definitely not walking in faith. Even if I'm hollering, oh, I love Jesus. I'm blessed. God bless you. I'm blessed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. But if I'm walking around in fear, that's just more that talking I'm doing. I'm not standing on principle. I'm standing on prep. Okay? So we look at how we talk and we look at how we think. Right? Because I was that girl that was really pretty. Because I'm still pretty. I still think I'm pretty. That ain't probably going to go away. Don't mind my pimple patches. I have on about 10 of them. No, I do not actually have pimples in the places I have the patches. But don't be judging me. I know you're probably saying, Coach, there's nothing even coming out of your pimple patches. I know, but don't be coming for me. I put them on my face and I don't want to waste them. So I'm not taking them off until the 18 hours is up because I'm not wasting no 8 pimple patches now. So you just sit down and relax and look at these pimple patches and sit back and get this education and then go pray about it and Google it if you need to so you can double down and verify my information because I don't ever want you to think I'm the say all and do all. The stuff I'm telling you comes from scientific studies that I go and read because I'm someone who's highly educated and that's how I got my knowledge. I'm educated in the industry. This is actually my career. So don't you worry about these things on my face. Stay focused. Principle 1, never permit fear to discourage you from progressing in your goals. Remember I told you my site and what happened? I immediately got fearful. How am I going to serve my clients? So instead of me getting fearful, guess what I had to do? I gave myself 7 minutes. I cried. I fell out. I called on God. I asked God, why don't you see me? Why don't you see me? Why would you do this? What's going on? You done had me do all this. You got me putting out these streets. I'm out these streets, work with all these women. I got these women all over the country. And then I can't get to them. Blah, 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 blah. And I was losing it, y'all. Crying. Oh, God, why won't you see me? You need to see me, God. You better see me, God. God, you better see me. I'm fasting and I'm praying. And you better see me. I realized that it was time to transition. That's all that happened. I have 2 stores already. I was always going to one, but I kept putting it off because of the amount of work. And it was clear. Oh, thank you, Sandra. And it was clear that God said, you shall not stay over there. Let's go. I feel like God evicted me. Because it happened out of nowhere, overnight, gone. Couldn't get it back. So I feel like God evicted me and said, listen, I need you to go on over where I told you to be in the first place. Because you keep playing around. This is not what I told you to do. And you done came up with this idea on your own in the first place. So I'm going to shut it all the way down. I done gave you multiple warnings, multiple opportunities, multiple chances, and you still ain't did it yet. So boom, it's gone. Now I got to transition. So that's what's happening in the next 72 hours. We'll be transitioning over to our final platform, which we was doing anyway. But the transition date was not until June 1st. He said, nah. Because where I'm at, I can't serve as many people. Okay. I need something bigger to hold my CRM. It's getting too big for where I'm at, which means I have to incorporate a bunch of stuff. But because I have a team of people that's always had my back, all I had to do was get on the phone and say it's time. And they said in the following words, Coach, message me. I'm ready. Coach, you know I got you. Coach, let's get it when we starting. Because they understand what I'm trying to do. It isn't just about us right here. An entire country is suffering from what I'm talking about. Anytime the commercials on TV have gone from being 90% about weight loss, diabetes, or hypertension, and none of those are genetically inherited, we have a problem. Are you following me? Do we need to go to medical school so I can educate you on why I just said what I said? Are you got it? You good? You can go to Google and find out why I said what I said. You don't need me to take you down the road because I can take you. Because remember, I'm educated. Very. Okay? I can take you. But what I said is true. There is no genetic marker in your body that is for hypertension. It's not genetically inherited. It's environmentally inherited. Okay? Our environment confirms that we shall get the same things our parents have because they teach us how to live. We then go live that exact same lifestyle and ultimately end up with the same diseases. It is not because your mother gave you hypertension. So when people say, my mother gave me high blood pressure, she gave you the habits that create hypertension. She didn't actually physically birth you with high blood pressure. That is not what happened. There are infants that do have what they call gestational diabetes and things for that. Those particular individuals actually have those diseases. Our babies are born like that. Sometimes having disease is related to the pregnancy itself. However, if you go do the research, there is no genetic link that says because my mom had diabetes that I was born with diabetes, right? Are you following me? We are born with the predisposition to inherit the same diseases based on the living environmental, cultural, and social aspects that we are introduced to and inhabit in our living. People typically suffer from environmental obesity, cultural obesity, or generational obesity. These are 3 forms of obesity that I actually founded and started talking about 5 years ago in my book. I'm a best-selling author from 2017. I've sold thousands of copies of my paperback book that's not even that long, but the things that I have since talked about since the release of that book, and I pounded down. I did taught agencies and doctors' offices and surgery centers. I sent them copies of my presentations to educate them on the types of obesity that many people are suffering from that have nothing to do with their actual selves, right? How many people, a grandmother, that if you don't eat the food at her house when you go visit, you might not have a grandmother next Sunday? Exactly. Cultural obesity. Even if you're not hungry, even if you don't want it, not only do you better sit down and eat the whole plate she made, but you better take some home and you better eat it and not throw it away or give it away, because she's going to check and make sure you ate it. Why? Because that's her love language. And to her, she's giving you her love. If you refuse that love, you got to deal with the backflacks of it. So you're going to take the food, you're going to eat the food, you're going to go home, you're going to eat the food, blah, 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 blah. After doing that over and over and over and over, it's not because you ate one hamburger, it's because we eat them over and over. It's not because we ate one fried chicken, it's because we ate it over and over for years and years and years. Are you following me? Generational, environmental, and cultural obesity. Environmental obesity is environmental yes, inheritance, exactly. So what environmental obesity looks like is it's just the biggest one for a lot of us, and I will go as much as to say about 85% of people probably have some component of this that makes it challenging. Environmental obesity is when a person struggles with weight loss and wellness, but they do not live in an environment that is conducive of having other options, meaning does not practice healthy eating of any form. Maybe the healthy eating to them is a bag of Doritos for dinner and a pop. So the environment won't be productive, but also the individuals in the environment may unknowingly cause you to not be able to be consistent because of what they bring to the environment. So maybe you have a spouse that's always bringing home ice cream and potato chips and cookies and cakes and pop. Are you have a husband that belief about who has access to what and who can get how they keep who living in urban cities. You ain't never noticed it ain't no healthy restaurants. All the restaurants by you are fast or fattening. You ain't never, you never notice. You never notice that you only got a Walmart and a Target. You don't got no AJ's, no Sprouts, no Whole Foods, no Trader Joe's. You never notice that you got to drive 30 minutes to get one. How you going to teach a culturally located community access to healthy food if the food is 45 minutes away and most of the people in that area ride the bus? You seeing the pattern yet? You seeing it, Sandra? You seeing how we got here? See, what we don't recognize is we didn't just wake up and get right here. We have been conditioned in our environment, in our generations, and in our culture to not only deal, but to live obese based lifestyles. Prayer number one, in Jesus' name. Wherever I go, I'm fearless against fear in the name of Jesus. Day 111. But the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time I will deliver all of them slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire. Joshua 11:6. Principle. Your fear today is properly challenged. Your fear today, if properly challenged, cannot survive tomorrow. Your fear today, if properly challenged, cannot survive tomorrow. We're just checking for my thing, guys. Cynthia, Boogie, how you guys doing? Prayer. Sandra, you still with me? You got me, Sandra? Sandra, you there? Thank you so much, Sandra, for getting to the exact nature of what's really going on the inside. Yes, that is my primary. If you were to hear one of my girls give you a review, and even when they're in my lives, they all say about the same thing. Okay, they all say that when it started out, it was about their size, but as they progressed, they realized that it was more. Hey, boss wife, madam, baddest, and Coco, they will tell you that they learned it was little weight and everything thinking. You know, I had a lady lose 130 pounds in 6 months. When she got on the scale, she was like, "But I haven't done anything," and I said, "But you have." But you have. Because what we did is we did the work. We did the mental work that is required. Because many of us are walking around with hurt feelings, offended, are angry, are bitter. Many of us are actually walking around with hurt feelings, bitter, angry, are feeling rejected. Because I would say, so if I went back to that study, I think feeling rejected. It's a fifth one on there. I can't. What was the fifth one? It was five. Because he said five things. I can't remember what the fifth one is, but there is a fifth one that they say that human beings typically have going on in their head space, right? We've either dealing with something, form of pain, anger, unforgiveness or bitterness, right? And so when you look at those particular five things, they're some of the most heaviest things to pack around. What happens is some people don't know they're walking in bitterness, so their behavior is as a result of the bitterness, right? Their behavior is a result of the hurt feelings. Their behavior is a result of the neglect. Their behavior is a result of the loneliness. Their behavior is the result of victimization. Their behavior is a result of feeling left out, right? Their behavior is being driven by this emotion that's unresolved. Comment. Yes, I'm still listening. Line. Okay, perfect. Devin, principle. Your fear today. I said the part. I cripple the horse of fear and burn their chariots in Jesus' name. I confront my fear of today for a better tomorrow in Jesus' name. And so what the book by David Komalafi is going to do for us, guys, is every day, it's dated day 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It's day to 365. He gives you a prayer, a principle, and then, he gives you a scripture, a principle, and two prayers. And those two prayers are to help you deal with that form of fear for that day, right? And every day we're looking at a different form. Now, today they're asking us to take our fear and challenge it. So we know that today's focus is to challenge fear. If we see it, call it out. If we call it out, do something about it, right? So my team says, well, what do you do when you find out what you're afraid of? You start knocking it out. You got something to rumble about. We about to go to war. That's what we doing. What you mean? We going to war because it does not pay rent. It ain't paying no rent. It ain't buying you no presents, no gifts. It ain't making you feel no special kind of way. It's got to go. However, in some people, fear serves them a purpose. Did y'all know that? That for some people, fear serves them a purpose. Because fear isn't always the worst fear. It's in some situations you need fear because it's necessary. But in general, in living, you don't want to walk around in a fearful state. You guys, I just felt the presence on my back. Like I just felt like somebody was back here. 100% in real life. I just feel like someone's back here. Hi, Cynthia. All right, here we go. Today's reading. Today is the 26th. Let's see. Break through your blocks. Okay, that's not right there. Okay. Break through your blocks. I was walking in a. Hold on. This writing is too small, babies. I can't see this. All right, y'all. We right on our 1 hour. We're doing so good for Wellness Wednesday. We did our 20 minutes of beginning talk. And we're doing our. We did good. We did good. We did good. We did good. Okay. These is real dirty, but we're gonna make them work. Now they too dirty. I can't see where the. You guys, I can't see them. They're too dirty. I probably had them on my head or something. Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. Unless I can squint like an old lady for y'all real quick. Breaking through your blocks. I was walking at a good clip down Sandy Colony Beach when it happened. Without warning, I began running. I ran the longest distance I had ever before ran. Instead of collapsing in a panting heap, I kept running. Another stretch, then another, and by the time I tired, I had run a mile. The furthest I had ever before run in my life was about a quarter block. I didn't intend to make this breakthrough. I was so blocked in this area, I didn't think I could. Running wasn't even a goal. I had simply incorporated regular walks into my lifestyle as a way of exercising my body. This event surprised me because I'm not a physical fitness buff. I hadn't been allowed to participate in any physical education or sports activities as a child or teenager because of chronic health ailments. I spent many of my adult years neglecting my body lately. Lately, I had put up some effort into connecting with my body and working out in a amateurish fashion. But running, not me. Oh, so I used to think. The next time I went walking, I felt timid, almost afraid to even try running. I wondered if what I had experienced was a fluke. It wasn't. I ran again and again, and now running is a regular part of my physical activity, one I truly enjoy. The next time I went walking, I felt timid, almost afraid to even try running. I wondered if what I had experienced was a fluke. It wasn't. I ran again and again. Now running in a regular part of my physical activity, one I truly enjoy. Sometimes we're so blocked in a particular area, we don't even consider a breakthrough a possibility. Now, you guys know that I don't pre-read these, right? So I had no idea that the Codependency Anonymous book, the codependency book. So it's a Melanie Beattie is a codependency author, okay? And I had no idea that the very thing I was just fussing at y'all about, breaking blocks, not getting stuck, keeping your eyes open, moving forward, asking questions, see something, say something, do something, right? It literally says sometimes we're so blocked in a particular area we don't even consider a breakthrough a possibility. Are you guys hearing that? Did you guys catch that? Hmm? Did you guys catch that? No? It literally said that sometimes we're so blocked in a particular area we don't even consider a breakthrough a possibility. So we don't even think it's an option. We don't even try it. We don't even look at it. We don't even go that direction because we literally think it's not an option. So we don't even consider it. In recovery, make us say this prayer like, God, help me forget everything I think I know about myself. Help me forget everything I say I know about you. Help me forget everything I think I know about God. Help me forget everything I think I know about weight loss so that I can have a new experience in you, so that I can have a new experience in weight loss, so I can have a new experience in myself. And it basically just tells your mind to say, hey, God, take away everything I think I know about this thing, because clearly I don't know as much as I think I know, and give me a new experience in it. Enlighten me. Allow me wisdom and knowledge from you, oh God. Let it be manifested within my own mind. Give me something different to work with here, right? Switch it up for me, God. It says stay open. Don't limit yourself. Something that yesterday seemed entirely unfeasible and forever beyond your grasp may tomorrow, next month, next year, or today become something you can naturally, something that's available to you. It can come as a total surprise in an area you hadn't considered. Your breakthrough may happen in an area you've been struggling with and working on. Life is more than setbacks and it's not static. Appreciate and respect where you are now, but let yourself move to the next level when it's time. Celebrate your breakthrough when they come. Celebrate to that quiet voice. Listen to that quiet voice. No, celebrate your breakthroughs when they come. Listen to that quiet voice, that fleeting thought that says, why don't you? Even if it's something you've never done before, just go and do it. Right? So today, I encourage you to just go and do it. Just go and do it. Haven't roller skated, put those skates on. Haven't went for a walk in a while, go for a walk. Okay. You haven't give me um 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 go for a walk if you haven't been for a walk. Okay. But do something outside of what you would normally do. Challenge yourself. If you say, you know what, I'm never gonna be able to do that anymore, I ask you to take that out of your. I ask you to take never and ever out of and watch your life change. Take never and ever out of your dictionary and watch your life change. Take never and ever out of your dictionary and watch some things change. Because what I truly believe about every person who's been blessed with this live today, who has sat here and spent their hard time, energy, and love and watched my face and listened to this voice of mine, I appreciate you. But I truly believe that wherever you are, God has made you strong enough to endure, long enough to win. God has already made you strong enough to endure long enough to win. I'm going to try it again. God has already made you strong enough to endure long enough to win. This is not about if you can win. This is not if you're strong enough. This is not if you can endure. He's already done those things. He's made you strong enough to endure long enough to win. It's a t-shirt I sell. It's t-shirts I sell, just like the other one. My pain is my purpose. I refuse to believe that all the pain that we deal with, the one thing humans have in common is pain. I refuse to believe that we do not endure, we endure pain for no reason. I believe pain is endured with a justification that you shall use that pain, make it your purpose, and excel and elevate. Excel and elevate. I believe that many of us have did this thing called life for the wrong time, and we need to do it for the long time. To elevate, strong enough, long enough to win. I.R.I.S.E. That's it. He made you strong enough to endure long enough to win. I.R.I.S.E. I realize I'm strong enough. That is the name of my company. Because what happened after losing 400 pounds and almost unaliving myself, even after being skinny, that's why I'm telling you skinny is a delusion. Y'all better quit it. You better keep showing up right here. I'm trying to teach you something before you get there. I'm trying to show you something. I'm trying to tell you some things. I'm trying to give you some nuggets so that when it pops up in your life, you can say, that bald-headed lady with the blonde hair told me that. I remember her saying it. And she told me to look for you, monster. And I see you coming. And I see you trying to get on my block. And I see you trying to move in my street. And I see you trying to get in my house. But she already told me you was going to come. So I already know to look for you. She already told me to keep the light on the porch on so that if you came to my porch, I could see you when I got to the door and I wouldn't even open the door to let you in. Endure. Strong enough to win. Not for the wrong time, but for the long time. Because the only person that can do this thing, the only person that can do this thing that you're trying to do is you. It can't be for your mama, your cousin, your sister, your brother, your kids. It's gotta be for you. See, if I had lost weight for my kids, I would have already gained it back because, see, I feel abandoned and neglected often by my child, which it ain't real, though. That's not the real case, but I'm just giving you an example. And if I lost weight over a man, well, you see, I've been divorced. So that would have me eating again. So I'm glad to tell you that I dealt with the feelings of abandonment and loneliness because I don't eat over those things anymore. And if I did it for other people, well, they disappoint you and leave you, I'd be big again because I still pursued it for the wrong thing. See, I don't have a point to prove to you. My point I'm proving is to me. This battle I'm facing is no longer against the world. It is against the old version of who I used to be. Because no matter how far I grow and how long I go, she is waiting. She is holding space to show up when I least expect her to destroy me. And I'm looking for her. I got my porch light on. She can't come back here. Her and me, we ain't thee. Yeah. Her and me are not thee. We are not an item. I refuse to accept the behaviors, the thinking, the patterns, the situations, the circumstances, the people, and the places connected with the things that almost took me out of here. I don't have to accept that. You see, there's no rule written anywhere that says I have to suffer intentionally. There's no rule written anywhere that says that I have to let you abuse me, talk crazy to me, neglect me, reject me. There's no rule anywhere that says that. There's no rule that says I have to suffer. There's no rule that says I can't rise above my circumstances. There's no rule that says I can't help women lose weight naturally and keep it off for 10, 20 years. There's no rules. So because there's no rules, I keep showing up. Until you put it in writing, I'm going to keep rising. Yeah, I need a notice. And I need that notice to come from upstairs. See, I'm not willing even to accept a notice from another human. I need somebody bigger than me to tell me to stop because I refuse. You see, I've seen what it looks like when you at your last. See, many people that die don't plan their own funerals or pick out their own caskets or write their poem and their eulogy that shall be said at their funeral or pick the artist out that will sing. Many people don't get a chance to check out what their casket's going to look like and pick the headstone at the age of 35. Yeah, they not doing it at 35, but they doing it at 80, 90. They doing it as a friendly thing, as a life planning thing. They're not doing it because they've been given 30 days to live due to their size. So I can tell you I've been to some places. I'm not trying to go back because of this food thing. You see, I was so diabolical, I was willing to die over it. See, I had become so addicted to the chewing and the satisfaction that emaciation and the taste and the flavor gave my heart and my mind that I was willing to die over it. See, I'm in the wrong room. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I need to go where people can understand the power when you take your mind back. See, many of us are focused on only taking your body, but baby, you better take your mind back. You better take your thoughts back. You better take your determination and your belief and your situations back. Because that's what you need to sustain this thing. 26 says, make every moment count. A picture isn't taken in a moment, stated the brochure for a Cottonwood, Colorado hotel. It's taken of a moment. It took me a long time to learn that important truth. I spent years trying to get my life together, and I kept it together as though it were a solid chunk that could be arranged in a certain place, then made to stay there. It took me a long time to learn about moments. In many ways, our lives are like movie reels, made up of individual frames and single movement moments, each one leading into the next. It is a waste of energy to try and hold on to the moments of the past. By the time we begin reaching for them, they're gone. It is just as poor timing to try to jump into moments that have not arrived yet, the future. Stay in the present moment, the frame you're in now. That's the only moment where happiness. That's the only moment where happiness, joy, and love can be found. And remember to make each moment count. So it says stay in the present, which many of us actually don't stay in the present. Thank you so much, DMD. Welcome in. Hi, Mr. Is it M Renee? How are you, babe? Many of us don't actually stay in the present. That's actually our problem. And it's look, in recovery, this is a saying from recovery, but I switched it up. Look, in recovery, they say if you have one leg in tomorrow, well, let me get it right. If you have one leg in yesterday and one leg in tomorrow, then in my mind, you must be shitting and pissing on today. Did you catch it? If you're worried about yesterday and tomorrow, who's living today? I'm gonna let you think about that. If you're worried about your bills on the first and what happened at work yesterday, who's focused on today? Hmm? Who's focused on today? Who's focused on today? So if I'm focused on yesterday and worried about tomorrow, that means that nothing I'm doing in my present moment am I engaged in it. I'm just walking around. I'm a body and a head. I'm just moving through. I'm passing through, right? Because if I'm not present in today and I'm still worried about yesterday, and one of my quotes, this is actually a quote I made, right? My quote says that when we are searching, when we're searching for tomorrow, when we wish tomorrow could be today and we hope today could be tomorrow, then all we have in front of us is the past or the present, of the past or the future of existence. And I made that quote when I was like 12 or 13. It's in one of my poem books. And the reason why I wrote it down is because I was in therapy. And my therapist would tell me, how do you always think about what either already happened to you or what you think's gonna happen to you? And I was like, what do you mean? She said, well, when you come to therapy, we're either talking about your past or we're talking about what you think is going to happen bad in the future. We're not actually talking about anything happening in your life today. Hmm? Pew! That's all I can say. Pew! And that's how I know at the age of 35, I was still eating over the man that had touched me. I was still eating over the baby that passed. I was still eating over the mama that neglected me. I was still eating over the sister that woman. I was still eating over the stuff that had happened to me when I was a child and they wasn't even doing it to me no more. I was still eating over the pain from childhood sexual abuse, and I had not been touched or taken advantage of for over 20 years. But because I wasn't fully healed. See, I was healed on the mouthpiece, but I wasn't healed in the heart. See, some of y'all are healed by your mouthpiece, but you ain't healed in your heart. Recovery taught me that too. What recovery showed me was that I had forgiven by the mouthpiece, but I was bitter in the heart. They didn't give me that phrase. I'm telling you, that's what I discovered. That my mouthpiece was speaking it, but my heart seeking it. I was telling you I had forgiven it and let it go. But my heart, when the situation suited me, could become extremely sad, depressed, lonely, and broke down about that same situation that I just told you I was forgiven. I had forgiven somebody over. So my mouthpiece was good, all right. But inside, I was still sad that everybody else still had the family, but because I told about my abuse, I was given away. You see, you see. So it was deeper than that. Because I couldn't run from not having any family. Like, that's real. You could see that. You could feel that. You know that. No close knit, right? Everybody got family, but close knit, right? Now I'm blessed. I got family. More to the story is God does what he does when he does what he does. God will bless you and you'll be living the life of your dreams. It'll say, how could this be? I used to talk about being able to live, to snowbird. I used to think, say, when I get older, I'm gonna live on the other side of the country for 6 months of the year, and I'm going to live on one side of the country for 6 months of the year. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And guess what? The grace of God. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm at my second home during the 6 months of the year with my family, my God chosen, given family. That's recovery. That is the gift of discovering the angst, the microaggressions, the offenses that many of us live on. That is the real gift. That is the jewel that we get. We begin to get access and opportunities that we never dreamed would be possible. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's reading. I'm Coach Kenya, and I'm so glad to have you. May God bless you and keep you. Oh, any questions? Any questions? Because I'll be jumping off quick. Any questions? 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 Look, I'm gonna go one live at a time because we got 7. We're live on 7 locations. 7 locations, baby. 7 locations, baby. I'm just waiting to see if I get any questions because sometimes I get off real fast and my team will tell me, Coach, you had like a whole bunch of questions right before you hung up. You didn't see them. So I'm patiently waiting, loves, to make sure I don't miss any questions tonight. If you have questions about how to connect with me, how to join our community, you just click the contact button link and do your name and email. And if you want the blogs I do and the challenges we do, you just sign up for our community and get all the free stuff. And when you get a newsletter, we automatically give you a free 7-day meal plan. You got to do nothing for it. Well, I need your name and email to get it, but you get a free meal plan. And then if I have anything else that I'm like launching or that's like a bonus, I usually gift it. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Yep. So other than that, I'm out of here, guys. Y'all have a great night. God bless.